doesn't know, Wayne is the Turnerfoot Greyhounds, the man who behind Turnerfoot Greyhounds. He's running the Greyhound service for us. And over the last week, you have banged in a tremendous amount of winners, and I haven't backed any
Yeah.
of them.
I think we just landed a double there tonight, so I think that takes us to near 60 points in a week.
60 points in a week.
Yeah, after we landed a double tonight.
So even if you allow for a 30%, just say a 30% reduction factor for the prices,
Yeah,
that's still 40 points in profit.
yeah, definitely. And the majority of people are actually getting the prices if we're on the ball. We've sort of got the now everybody knows what time the messages go out at. So it's easy enough to get round about the price that we're putting out, give or take half a point.
Good man. Hang on a sec. Yeah. That's some going, though. I don't think I've ever done that in 1 week. But obviously, I obviously bet to more level stakes, so half a point each way and
Yeah.
1 point win. Whereas you give yourself a better chance of racking up those points because you have 2 point bets, 3 point bets.
Yeah, it was the last on Saturday there. That's whenever we hit 25 points. It was just there was a 7-2 winner, a 9-2 winner, but there were 2 points on them. But 9-2 in Greyhounds was quite big, where in your world 9-2 would probably be quite on the short side for yourself. But for me, that's a big price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you're dealing in a race where, well, you did bang in a 12-1 winner live last time we spoke.
Yes, we've had a couple of very big winners. But it's all about value, not just it. There could be value in a 6-4 shot or 2-1 shot. It just depends what, obviously, the price you've got in your head for it.
Yeah, no, agreed. I mean, part of the reason why I don't bet on shorter prices is just enjoyment.
Yes.
Yeah. Sometimes if there's an 11 to 10 shot, and I know that 11 to 10 shot should be 4 to 6, but
Yes.
I don't want to back it because it could still fall, it could still hit the fence. The jockey still might act, you know what I mean? So it's just it's an enjoyment thing for me sometimes.
Yeah. No, the majority of our winners recently they've been all round about the 3-1 mark. Like today, for example, 6-1 winner and I think it was a 5-1 winner. So, 6-1 and 5-1 today, and then a double tonight, all landed.
That's serious work. So you had a couple of quiet days, and then you said you had a reset and had to think about things, and you came back swinging.
We came back swinging. It's like I said, you need a points balance for this, and for the Greyhound surface, I've always said you need 100 points just to cover any losing runs, and we had a losing run for about a week there. It wasn't pretty, but as long as you stay focused, stay disciplined, you'll ride that out, and then the good week comes, and that was this week. Whenever you say we're having a bad week, some of it, I know you don't like saying unlucky, but we had a dog that won by 8 lengths, but the track staff put it in the wrong trap, so it was a void race, and there's 10 points that we would have won that was just taken away from us because of a simple mistake.
Mate, but you've how many times have you heard me say the word variance? You must be bored of it by now.
Yes, exactly. I know.
But it's fucking true though, and so many things fit into that category, you know.
Exactly. So as I said, it's just you ride out the bad times and you have the good times. But as I said, on the course of the month, like we're up, I think it's 10 or 12 points now for this month, and that adds to the 69 from last month. So it is working. You just need to be disciplined and don't be gung ho and do your own points. Just follow the points that I'm giving out, and you'll be fine. Otherwise, there's people there goes gung ho, puts more than what they should on the selection, and that's their bankroll beat, and they can't ride out the bad period.
So if you're working off on a 100-point bank of £5 a pint this week, 60 points up, you'd have made £300 profit.
£300 profit on the favour, yeah. So it's good going. It's not like that all the time, obviously.
No,
But
but it's
and
that's the long and short of it for this week. And since the start, you're what, 85 points in profit over the last couple of months.
85 points, roughly about 85 points in 85 points in profit over since we started in the 7th of December.
So that's 425 pounds profit to £5 a pint.
Yeah. So it's,
425 quid. So if you went up,
it's not
go on.
it's not a get rich quick scheme, as everybody
No,
knows. It's a side earner, and people's not going to leave their jobs and do this full time. But it's an extra income on top of their job. That's what it is.
no, but if you went up to your manager and you said, right, I want a £250 a month pay rise,
Yeah, the sort of look at you and laugh.
they'd fucking laugh at you, and that's
Yeah.
£5 a pint stakes, you know. So
Yeah. No, it's been really really good, and as I said, it's even just getting people interested in greyhound racing because it is sort of a down sport, and
yeah.
there's now people in the chat group and stuff maybe never followed greyhound racing before. It's not are now actually looking and maybe picking their own selections and having a couple of small bets themselves, which is just generating interest in greyhounds, which is good.
Um, what accounts do you think are best to have? I don't like promoting bookies, but just briefly, what
No,
accounts
it's
do you
not.
think?
For this service for you to get the maximum value from the service. Basically, the way it works is without going into too much detail. The selections go out at for the morning dogs at 9:03. I know that sounds pedantic, as in 3 minutes past 9, but Sky, Paddy Power, and Betfair, that they price up at 9 o'clock. So it gives me a chance. I have to be really quick, go through the 4 morning cards, and then pick out the ones that I've already selected, make sure that they're value, and then those go out at 9:03. So either Sky, Paddy Power, or Betfair account, as well as a 365 account, and if so, a Core or Ladbrokes account. Just 3 accounts, but it means then you're getting the full value. It's because there's so much variance with bookmakers and dogs. Like one dog last week won, I think it was 7-1 for us, but it was 2-1 with Bet365. But if you have a Sky, Paddy Power, Betfair, you're getting 7-1. So that's how it works.
Crazy. Yeah, so selections are given out at 9 o'clock in the morning. Then there's more. The way that you manage the channel, then though, you could get selections, half an hour before a race later on, and then you.
Yeah. Normally the selections now is more streamlined. So it's 9:03, then between 11 and 12 for the afternoon card, and then about 2 o'clock for the evening card. Now, obviously, I do get some inside information that I just pass on straight away whenever I get it. But it's from the last week, it's all been pretty regimented. 9:03, 11 to 12, and then the sort of 2 to 3 time. So it's got the stage now where it's not randomly throughout the day. As I said, it's all been streamlined now, so it's everybody sort of knows roughly when the selections are coming out, apart from obviously the inside information ones.
And what would you say to somebody who likes to have a bet on the horse racing, or likes to have a bet on the football, doesn't really know much about greyhound racing, but is kind of interested in it? And what would you say to them?
You don't have to know anything about greyhound racing the same way as I don't. I used to think I knew about horse racing, but really I didn't. Since joining your channel, I literally all I do is you put your selections up, I just back them, and then if they win, they win. I don't even watch the race. I just use it as a side earner, and that's if anybody doesn't like dogs, they can still have a side earner using the service. But hopefully, fingers crossed, once they get used to it, they'll start watching it and then and obviously enjoy it. But like I said, some people could just use it as the end of the month. There's an extra £100 or whatever that they didn't have.
Yeah, indeed. But I enjoy watching greyhound racing. But I just don't get the fucking time. Like I just don't have the time to. Like I grew up watching football my whole life, and I don't even get time to watch football anymore. Soccer, what can you do? I watch.
No, you can't do.
I watch horse racing and a little bit of UFC now and again, and that's about it.
No, that's what he said. I used to watch horse racing, but don't have time now because of this. So it's literally dogs and spurs. That's it.
Do you Do you include any anti-post bets? Is there any anti-post markets in greyhound racing?
No, I've never done anti-post and grit. It's completely different than horse racing. Horse racing, you've obviously got the big festival, Cheltenham, for example. But for a horse to run in Cheltenham, they don't have to do 4 heats to get to Cheltenham. They can just turn up. Some horses mightn't even run before they go to Cheltenham. They can still go and enter, and they're in their final race. Whereas dogs, to win, for example, the Derby, you have to do 4 heats, and just to get through a heat is hard in itself, and that's why I don't do anti-post bets. It's I don't want to say a mugs game. If someone that maybe fancies a dog, they'll do it, but you can't be profitable over time backing anti-post dogs. There's just too many variables in terms of
it's kind of
just
so it's pot luck as to even whether they'll make it through
through the heats. Yeah, the first, for example, first 3 qualified, but all it takes is a bad bump in the first heat, and you might have the best dog in that competition and get knocked out in the first heat. That's just and I've seen it too many times. It's too hard to get an angle on an anti-post bet. As in, they're good value, maybe a 25 to 1 shot, 30 to 1 shot, but for them to even get to the final, I think it should be at a 100 to 1 shot. If that makes sense, just to get past 5 heats.
Aye. I don't know if there's any other questions for. I couldn't see any coming through. Just lots of people saying decent stuff. Doesn't seem to be any weirdos on the live tonight. Where's all the weirdos?
I know.
Anyway,